for every insurance agency in town, pretty much. I ran for Esquire, I ran for Acceptance, I ran for Autotown, I ran every agency in this town, pretty much. But I had to learn. In order to get to somewhere, you have to learn. You have to study. You have to learn stuff. So after I got out of that space and started working with United Healthcare. Anybody heard of United Healthcare? Okay, all right. Now I was a top 5 earner in that particular company throughout the whole state of Georgia. Now I did something different. That's the reason why I became so great at what I did. What I did was, I got me an office space. Now, no agent was working in office space. Most agents work from their home. I got me an office space. I also got me a girl that was good on the phone. She had to have a good phone contact. She had to be very good on the phone. I went through about 5 or 6 females that I had to make sure they did what I needed them to do. Now, I go in there and go in the office and see them on the phone, talk to little girlfriends, they had to go. But my whole thing was this, is to get the right people, just like Ernest said, on the team to make me successful. Now, I got very successful at it because of the fact that I got more sales than most people in the company, which means that I made more money. And I know if I made more sales, I'll make more money. On your team, you make more tackles. You get looked at a little harder. I look at you and say, ooh, that brother is bad. I say, hey, you don't miss nothing. He's very aggressive. I want y'all to be that way, man, in life. Okay? Don't be so so lukewarm or whatever, but become very aggressive in everything that you do. I see my face in every one of y'all, man. I see my face in all the other guys I worked with and played ball with them in the neighborhood. But become more successful in everything you do, man. And I want, just like, the bros here, this is my wife here. You'll see she's feeling me, of course. She got me on camera. But that's my beautiful wife, Kimberly. Hey, Kimberly. Okay. All right, and I got my partner over here. I got my partner, Mr. Preston.
What's up, y'all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the whole thing is this, man. I don't want to take a lot of time. I know I got a short window of time here to speak, but my whole thing is that, from paperboy to CEO is where I'm at right now. My name is James McMorris. It's a pleasure, a pleasing pleasure to talk to you, young man. And I want you all to be successful. And remember one thing. Find someone that you want to be like in life, man. Someone that's positive. I know everybody wants to be cool, wear your little hoodie and got your hair all twisted up and stuff. That's okay. That's your time. Back then we had bell bottoms and and platforms, and we were cool then. And afros. I mean big afros. We had a little afro. We had some big gigantic afro. But the whole thing is that this is your time. But I want you all to come out beneath the negative street stuff that's out here, street violence, just to see black men in one place. It makes me feel joy in my heart to see you all here in one place at one time and standing, not laying on a hospital bed with a bullet hole in your back or your side of your head, sitting here listening to someone who grew up in the streets as well. But I wasn't a part of the street. I might have grew up in the street, but I wasn't a part of the street. Just because you grew up in a bad neighborhood, you don't have to be that. Okay, I was not that because I wanted more. And I want you guys to have more. Again, my name is James McMorris, First Party Insurance Agency. Thank you for listening.
Guys, any questions? So I have some questions. So I'm 20 years old. What is the importance of me securing insurance for myself right now?
At 20 years old, you're at a good age. Matter of fact, it's very easy for you to secure insurance right now for yourself. Why? Because the rates are very low. The younger you are, the less it costs. So we have one thing called $1 million baby. Okay, that's one of our programs, which means that from a child, you're 20 years old, of course. I'm going to get back to your question. But as a child, you can buy insurance on a baby, and by the time you get at 20 years old, based on the cash value accumulation in it, you have enough money that baby at age, when he's going to retire, he'll have $1 million. Not only that, he'll have enough for college, because most people don't insure their babies. They insure themselves Why? Because if something happened to them, they want to make sure their children are taken care of. Most of your parents do have insurance on yourselves to make sure that you are successful in your life. Matter of fact, I'll take care of myself, Ernest. When my son was little, and I knew he was in college, he was going to college, I want to make sure I had enough for myself in case I died. I want to make sure he completed his education. And get back to the question, age 20, the rates are very low. You don't have to worry about medical. Like myself, I got a little high blood pressure, a little diabetes, but that's okay. I inherited that from mom and dad. But at a young age and healthy as you are, you can have a very low cost life insurance program with accumulated cash value that's tied into the stock market. Okay, the S&P 500 and the foreign stock market as well. These two things are available for young men to build up cash value. So you can have what they call emergency cash fund. So you want to buy that nice car, you can go into that policy and say, look, give me $20,000 out of the policy, I want to buy this car. You don't have to pay it back. Why? Because that's your money. You accumulate that money over time. But it takes time to build that up. It's not the old grandma and grandpa policy where they just got enough just to bury it. These are policies they didn't have for us back in the 70s and 80s. Why? Because they knew that they want to make sure black folks stays in their place, because they didn't allow them to get but only $25,000 of life insurance. Now black folks can get up to $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, whatever. But the whole thing is that now is a time that we can definitely have. That's what most people who have value and have assets, they have big, large life insurance policies, because life insurance is the underlying value to their portfolio. Without that, how would they be able to pay off anything upon their death? So right now, I know y'all keep, I know you ain't working, probably you're not. If you got a job, definitely try to get some life insurance at this time, right? Question.
How is insurance tied to the stock market?
Well, good question. A portion of that, you got two pieces of insurance. You got your piece which is called the initial investment, which is the base amount, which is what pays for the cost of the insurance. The other part of insurance goes in what they call a cash value option. We call it IUL, okay? With those type of values, portion of it goes into the market and a portion goes to your face value of the policy. So you got two pieces in there. So if you pay $100 a month, I would say about 30 of that go into the cost of insurance. The other piece goes into what they call a cash value, accumulated value. Now, of course, in that policy, you can dump money in there and don't be taxed on it. That's a good value. A lot of people do that for a reason, because they don't want the government to tax them on it, so they put that money into the insurance policies. A lot of times, even when death occurs, insurance policy is not taxed either. Okay? So when you need that money, and a lot of times you do, you don't have to pay it back. Now, you have to pay back your interest now, because the interest will accumulate. But instead of going to the bank, you become your own bank. You have to go to the bank and ask for $20,000 or $30,000. You become your own bank. Why? Because you got your own money. One of these days, we as a family of African American brothers and sisters, we'll have our own bank, just like the Jewish folks. When I pay my rent, when I pay the rent at my office, that money don't go to a Wells Fargo or Chase or whatever. It goes to a Jewish bank. When you own your own bank, you become powerful. Why? Because you have leverage. You have access to whatever you need to have access to. Buying a home, buying a whole strip mall. You can buy this whole building because you have your own bank. One of these days, we're going to be there. Matter of fact, Black Wall Street is heading in that direction right now. We accumulate a program called Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street, anybody know about Black Wall Street?
Stonecrest?
That's one of them. That's.
I met the dude put in the wing from Stonecrest.
You met him?
Yes.
Okay, all right. What's his name?
I forgot, but I definitely should have seen him.
That's okay. That's all right. He's a good dude. I know him. What's his name, baby?
Bill Allen.
Bill Allen. Yes, there you go. Bill Allen. Yes, Bill Allen. Real good dude. Anyway, Bill Allen is he bringing on the same concept as Black Wall Street. He's bringing in black vendors inside of space so we can all do business together and be able to trade amongst ourselves, so we can keep that black dollar in our neighborhood.
Yeah, why don't you explain and I'm gonna be frank with you all on this. When he says Black Wall Street, that was a period of time that happened in Oklahoma. James, why don't you, Kim, remember, you wanna explain that?
Kim, come on here, baby.
Yeah, this is
Kim is-
this is a piece of history that each and every one of us up in here need to know, because this is actually